everybody, Travis here with Asian Favorites. I want to welcome you all back to the channel. Thanks everybody for watching. Today I'm excited to teach you how to make one of my favorite Thai soups. It's called Tom Kha. It's that classic Thai coconut soup that you find in so many restaurants here in the United States. In Thai, gai means chicken. So if you were in Thailand, you would often see this soup called Tom Kha Gai because it's always made with chicken over there. But here it's made with a variety of proteins. Before I get started, to any Thai viewers, Tung Kun Thai, Sarikab, Yindi Tan Rab Su Chung, YouTube, Kong Chan, Asian Favorites, Laga, Wani Chatam, Tom Kha Gai, Aroima, Sarikab, Kapuma Kab. So just a couple things I want to mention about this soup before we get started. The first thing is that it is gluten-free, which is great if you have anybody who has that need. The second thing is that traditionally this soup is not spicy. So if you want it to have a bit of heat, you'll have to go ahead and add a different type of heat, such as Thai chili, dry chili flakes, whatever you happen to have around the house. Thirdly, I've been making this soup in my own restaurant for so many years. I'm going to teach you a very easy and flavorful recipe that I am absolutely confident you will love. So let's go ahead and get started. You're not going to believe how simple and easy this soup is to make, and it's packed full of flavor. Before I get started, I just want to show everybody what ingredients we're using today in this particular Tom Kha coconut soup. So of course we're going to be using the prime ingredient here, coconut milk. I'm using chaga today. There's a variety of brands that you can use. Chili paste with soybean oil. I love the pan Thai version of this. I use that one. We'll also be using fish sauce, white sugar, fresh lime, our aromatics. So in here I have lime leaf, galanga root, which really is the key star ingredient in this soup. And then lastly, just a bit of lemongrass. I love the flavor that this brings. So that's simple. Aside from that, the vegetables that I'm going to be using today, white mushroom, which I've already sliced, white onion, green onion, cilantro, and that's pretty much it other than our protein, which is chicken, of course. I already have some chicken breasts that I have sliced up. So let's get started on the soup base. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in just a cup of water. And really, this is simply used to get my aromatics started in the soup. Then I'm going to add lime juice, fish sauce, and then our aromatics. Now, galanga, as I mentioned, is really the star ingredient that we're going to be using in this particular soup. So I'm using 2 pieces of galanga. Now, galanga you can buy in your local Asian supermarket. It is generally bought frozen, and you can also buy it dry, but it has a great shelf life. If you keep it frozen, it can last months and months and months. The dried virtually lasts, I don't even know how long. A long, long time, I couldn't tell you. But aside from that, I'm adding my lime leaves and then just a couple pieces of lemongrass. So this is going to be the base of the soup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add our chili paste with soybean oil. Love this brand. I'm going to be adding about 2 tablespoons here of this. And this particular brand has a bit of sweetness to it. Usually this soup will be made with adding a little bit of sugar. Today I'm adding just a tinge, maybe just a dash of sugar, not too much. That maybe was a tablespoon. I don't measure everything out. And the reason why that I'm adding that is because the particular type of coconut milk that I'm using today does not have much sweetness to it at all, so you may want to add a little bit of sugar. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this started over on the stove because we want those aromatics to start working. Okay, so now we have our soup and our aromatics over on the stove behind us. We're going to let that boil just for a few minutes, maybe 5. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slice my tomato here. Now, this is a Roma tomato. You can use whatever type of tomato that you like. I'm just going to maybe slice it. I don't need all of it, maybe just about 1/4 of it. I love tomato in my soup, so you can slice this any way you like. I like mine in chunks, so I'm just going to maybe leave it like that. And the tomato we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in last, just because we don't want our soup to thicken up too much. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our coconut milk to our soup, and I will show you how to do that and what it looks like. Okay, so our soup here has been boiling for about 5 minutes. The chili paste is all broken down. Our aromatics are really starting to develop. Has a great smell. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in our coconut milk. And this will bring the temperature down, and it will take some time for this to cook up here because we need this to come to a nice boil. So we'll leave this heat up here for another 5 minutes, and then after that we'll go ahead and we'll add our chicken, and then after that our vegetables, and we will be done. Okay, so we're a few minutes out here. Our coconut milk that we had is at a nice boil. It smells great. We're gonna go ahead and now add our cut chicken breasts here. And we're just gonna leave these boil for about 5 or 6 minutes here, just so that they cook through nice and tender is what we're looking for. I'm also gonna go ahead and add in my white mushrooms. Get all these in here. And my white onions. Now we're just going to leave this boil for maybe 5 or 6 minutes until our chicken is cooked, and then lastly I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my green onion and my tomato. Okay, so now our soup here has been boiling for about 5 minutes with our chicken, and I believe it is cooked well. I'm just going to go ahead now and add in my tomatoes and my green onions. I add my tomatoes in last because I don't want them to break down too much. And then my green onions. And we will go ahead and let this just incorporate here for a minute, and then we are done. We'll go ahead and take it over and plate it up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so we have our soup all done. I pulled it off the stove. Now we're going to go ahead and plate it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. It smells so good. And I should tell you, this is going to yield a nice entree-sized portion of tom kha. I love the smell of the galangal. You can smell the galangal right away. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to garnish this with my favorite green onion, which I love. And then maybe just a little bit of cilantro. And then let's take a taste of it. I absolutely love this soup. It's packed full of flavor. It's easy to make. Do me a favor and make this soup in your own home instead of ordering out next time. I know that you will love it. I want to say thanks to everybody. I will link the recipe description below. I will see you all in the next clip.